If you ask anybody who they think was the star of Austin and Ally, they will obviously say Austin. But in my opinion, Des was the real star of the show, and this video will explain why. It's simply the truth that Des was funnier than Austin. They were both comedic reliefs, but Des would always outshine when it came to the comedy. Not only would Des outshine Austin, but also Trish and even Chuck. The biggest misconception from the show is that Des was an airhead. He came off as the dumbest character, but I don't think he was ever actually dumb. Not only was Des in advanced classes, but he was also a great video director. You need to have some form of intelligence to be able to put together ideas for music videos, especially because his music videos would always turn out great. Des was also a good video editor who was pretty innovative, and this is shown when Trent steals his edit idea since it's so fascinating.
There's no way to hide it, yeah, I got it too. Whatever it is, I got it.
Later in the show, Des gets a girlfriend named Carrie, and people have actually complained about these two being a couple. They say that Des should have ended up with a smart girl and not someone dumb like Carrie, but I actually disagree. Why they hooked up Des and Carrie together wasn't to make a dumb couple. Des was smart, so him dating an actual airhead was a better dynamic than having him get with a really brainy girl. This might be a hot take, but Des and Carrie were actually a better couple than Austin and Ally were. The insults Des would make were so funny and memorable that there's been multiple compilations made from his insults. Des insulted everybody, including Trish and Kira, but his funniest ones were when he directed them towards Ally. His insults weren't mean to the point where people wanted to cry, but they were hilarious, and sometimes the highlights of entire episodes. Des wouldn't sugarcoat anything when it came to Ally, and maybe it's because he didn't like her, due to Ally just stringing Austin around and not becoming Austin's girlfriend. Des and Austin were best friends, so at a certain point, you're going to get tired of the girl your best friend likes, but she's not willing to date him yet. Des was never really mean to Kira until he noticed her bad breath, and even then he would just make fun of her breath, but never really attacked her the way he did with Ally. This could be due to Kira actually dating Austin, and not just stringing him along like Ally was. Obviously, Ross Lynch was more famous than Callum Worthy while the show was airing, and even after the show ended, but that doesn't change anything. Ross Lynch was the star outside of the show, but Des was the star inside the show. Austin's singing and performances were great, but that only takes you so far in the series. If you watched Austin and Ally for Austin's performances, then you would prefer to just watch Ross Lynch in his own career, and you wouldn't keep watching entire Austin and Ally episodes. If you're a reoccurring viewer of the show, it's because you want to laugh or be entertained. You want to immerse yourself into the plot of the episodes, so when it came to entertaining the viewers, Des was better at that than Austin ever was. This doesn't mean that Trish and Ally were boring. They were actually pretty entertaining, and Trish was almost as funny as Des. Ally was fun to watch, especially seeing her arc going from a shy person to being able to perform in front of a crowd. There wasn't many plots dedicated entirely to Des, and yet he manages to outshine everyone. People may not agree with Des being the real star, but that's probably because those people are clouded by Ross Lynch being famous outside of Austin and Ally. But if we're only talking show terms, then Des definitely outshined everyone.